Rivalries reignited.
Historic heavyweights.
The spiciest of derbies.
New kids on the block.
The best leagues in the land of that.
Tom Hitchcock crashes. Tom Hitchcock goes. Tom Hitchcock scores. Leaving it all out there for the fans.
A steamroller has just charged through.
Dynasty, destiny, drama.
Your Women's National League Cup champions.
Future stars set to shine.
Bill Rigg, who's been on fire all season.
Champagne Rugby? Look no further.
To score one of the most memorable tries.
Durham University are BUCS Super Rugby League champions.
The truth is, in this league, it's anyone's on the day.
And it's full time. It is 6 wins from 6 for Swansea.
Entertainment guaranteed.
BUCS Super Rugby.
Women's National League.
BUCS Rugby is back.
Striding around sunny Nottingham in short sleeves feels an awfully long time ago. Stood here at a Baltic hollow drift in 2 pairs of socks and counting, but our summer selves were spot on. BUCS Super Rugby is back, and tonight it is back with a decidedly purple bang. Durham are 2-time table toppers, prolific in Palatinate, and Loughborough are almost everybody's ones to watch this campaign. Kick-off for our second mouth-watering live stream match is underway at 6:30, so don't you go anywhere. It is a pleasure to have you with us and to be alongside Dave Rogers, who's been like a kid on Christmas Eve all day.
I am so pleased to be here, despite the fact that I'm freezing and I've got my Durham coat on. It only comes out when we're up here because it's always cold, it's always wet, but I'm not going to let that dampen the spirits. I mean, just look, we've got teams warming up, we've got those terrible Palatinate jackets on the balcony ready to go. It's an exciting time to be alive.
It's incredibly exciting, and all the more so given the results that we've already seen this afternoon. Nottingham, Hartbury, what did you make of that?
Well, for starters, it looked like they were playing in a different country because I think they had factor 50 on in Nottingham. But we always talk about how difficult it is to start in this league. To start with a win in front of 1,000 people in Nottingham, incredible. And what about Hartbury? We talked about this being a season where they need to make a statement. Is there a bigger statement than a comeback win at Topsham? Incredible stuff for Dan Murphy's lot.
And it also couldn't be a bigger statement than if Loughborough were to overturn a recent 3-0 deficit against Durham up here in the league champions' own backyard. Why is this head-to-head always such an exciting prospect?
Well, they've been 2 of the standard bearers for student rugby forever, haven't they? They both play in purple, even though they're different shades of purple, but it's purple. For years and years, they've been right at the top of the game. Durham have been incredible for the last 2 BUCS Super Rugby campaigns. They've won the league championship. Loughborough, we've used the word sleeping giant quite a lot, but they've got a great team. They've had a good, solid pre-season. They've already been taught a lesson by Exeter in the National League, and I think they'll learn from that. And they're full of optimism. They had a great game in the playoffs here last year. Loughborough had a big lead at half-time, but Durham pegged them back. That forward pack just won the race around the corner, won that physical battle, and that's what booked their place in the final. I know there's a lot of new faces, but all of those old faces will have that in the back of their minds, and I think that puts us in a great position for this game to be a great start to the season.
If I were a sleeping giant, if I were Loughborough, I would probably stay in hibernation until this has passed. I'd wait until maybe April, May, and then I'd return once it was a little bit sunnier in these climes. You've mentioned departures, you've mentioned people that remain. I think if we're going to talk Durham, we have to talk about the impact that Fred Davies leaving, Captain Fantastic, will have had on this side. A couple of key engine room players, their entire starting front row. Do they have the pedigree? Do they have the setup to weather that storm?
I think so, and they're looking to build a dynasty here, but the nature of student rugby means that there are going to be players that leave, players that come in, and players that do a job. I mean, the 3 guys that come into the front row, Oscar Stott, Jacob Head, Isaac Kayada, they all featured on the bench last year. They're all part of the same programme. They all learnt from that brilliant front row, and they are going to look to get the team off on the front foot. Same for Loughborough as well. Their back row experience, Lavin, Exley and Monday, they all played for the majority of last season, especially in these conditions. That forward battle is going to be absolutely massive. And those Durham boys who are starting, who were on the bench last year, they want to put their hand up. They want to show that they can carry that Palatinate jersey and keep it in the same place as it was last year. And in front of this home crowd that will be full, we're told, it is absolutely hammering down. I'm not surprised they're still inside. I do think they're in a good spot. I mean, we've spoke to Cy Cully, we spoke to the players. They all seem really confident, quietly confident, which I think is worrying for everyone else in the league.
Cy Colley was in very, very good form when I spoke to him earlier, so we'll get to him in just a second. But you sat down with new co-captain Ewan Murphy at the BUCS Media Day when those lovely sunny promo shots were filmed. So let's cast our minds back to that and hear what he had to say.
Captain of the team this year, captain of the champions. Absolutely incredible. You must be delighted.
Yeah, very pleased. It's something that I've always looked up to do. I've had great examples in the past, Fred, Fowlsey, but then there's also like other leaders within the club. There's been strong leaders, Marion, other boys that have shown the way, and it's something that I've always thought would look.
God, when you say those names, they're big BUCS boots to fill, aren't they?
Yeah, they are indeed. They've done some really good things, but I suppose for us it's a mixture of them showing us the way in terms of how things should be done and us putting our own little stamp on it.
You kick the season off against Loughborough. It's a brilliant rivalry. It always has been. You beat them in the playoffs. So is it the semi-final?
Yeah, it was the semi-final.
Absolutely amazing game. How much are you looking forward to going toe-to-toe again with them at the start of the year?
Really looking forward to it. Loughborough, class outfit. They've got some really good players. I know they've got a lot of continuation this year, so it should be a really good one. It's our first game of the year and it's in Freshers Week, so hopefully we get a big crowd. I'm expecting it to be physical, a good encounter.
I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. I'm also looking forward to a packed out Harding Hill, right? Because all of the clubs at BUCS Super Rugby, every home ground has got its own identity, but when that hill is packed, it's a pretty special atmosphere at Hollowdrift.
Yeah, it is. I think the one to remember was the Exeter game last year. Massive crowd, that really drove the boys on. When we got that victory, it was something special, something that a lot of the boys will remember. We're looking forward to that, yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot here then. What does it mean to be a Palatiner?
It means winning.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that. Finally then, everyone's really excited about this season. Everyone's really excited about seeing whether these new faces in that Palatinate jersey can do it again across periods of time, because continuity, you've literally just said that being a Palatinate means winning. What can we look forward to from you this season, from the rest of the team this season, from everybody at Durham?
I mean, for Durham, we're going to do what Durham do, and we're going to aim to have, we're going to play our brand of rugby. I think what's exciting this year is we've got such talented players. We can play a lot of different styles, so I think you'll see that from us this year. Go from strength to strength.
Can't wait. Good luck.
Thank you.
Opening your season at home and against Loughborough, just how have the excitement levels been amongst your setup?
Oh, huge. I mean, any first day of the season in BSR is a great place to start, but up against Loughborough, really big, famous programme. They've been the standard bearers of student rugby for years and years. It's up to us who've been going well recent years to keep to our standards, and I think it'll be a great game despite the weather.
Despite the weather, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Durham hit the top of the table after round 3 last year. Do you view, in a league this competitive, a quick start as absolutely essential?
I don't think it's essential. I don't think you win the league after 3 games. You could probably lose it if you lost all 3. But I think the quality and the depth of the league as it goes forward is no one's going to be going unbeaten anytime soon. I think if you lost your first couple, you could probably still come back and go pretty well. Hopefully that's not the case for us, but I certainly wouldn't be writing off the season if we had a slow start.
Down in Bristol, where I dare say it's a little bit sunnier than this, Fred Davies is going to be wearing 16 for the Bears this evening. A really special moment for the club. There were some big shoes left to fill when he departed over the summer. So why Pat Bishop and why Ewan Murphy?
I mean, I think Fred's a very special character, and he was bang on for that group that we had. A lot of big personalities and senior boys, and he led them exceptionally well. It's now time for us to evolve, as any university programme has to. I think between Pat and Ewan, they've got the mix of fantastic leadership. Ewan talks very well. Bish, his rugby brain is immaculate. He reads the game beautifully. Ewan's specialism at set piece and his work rate as a standard setter in the forward pack is top class. And I think between the two of them, they both set a really high standard with their personal performance, and they talk really eloquently and well off the field.
Davies departed along with your starting front row and a couple of crucial engine room members with a very different looking pack this year. Might we see a very different style of play from Durham?
I think one of the things Durham's done really well over the years is adapted its style of play to its boys. So we played a certain way under Ben Fowles, we played a certain way under Fred Davis, and now we're going to play a certain way under Ewan and Pat, and we'll evolve that as we go, as the boys go through the season and they grow as a group, and we'll play to our strengths.
We're really looking forward to seeing it. Good
Thanks
luck
very
tonight.
much. Great, thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Cheers.
Pre-season survived, match day squads selected, Dave on his merry way up to commentary, and the first Palatinate Blazers just emerging onto Harding Hill behind me. The 5th season of BUCS Super Rugby is underway, and it doesn't get much tastier than Durham versus Loughborough. So buckle on up, and commentary team, over to you.
Come shot, lads, you got me.
Up after 8 years with Leicester Tigers. Not sure how that was received by the Tigers fans. And a decent clearance kick as well. First touch of the ball for Max Pepper. He's in at scrum half after a great season on the wing, and I tell you what, some space opening up on the left-hand side early. Lovely footwork. Durham already into the 22. Stuart Cox. Fantastic break from him. Here's Will Nicholson in at full-back today. That's out to Jacob Head. Ball goes forward. Paul Brown can't stop the knock-on. And we're going to have our first look at the set piece. And this is an area of the game that we're absolutely fascinated by. Claire mentioned it in the pre-show, this brand new front row. Oscar Stott, Jacob Head and Isaac Kayada. Kayada, a Wasps tight head. All featured last year, but it was all limited to bench appearances. It's Bryn Davis, Nathan Langdon and Mink Sharink in the front row for Loughborough. Plenty of national experience from them. Bryn Davis on the loose head side. He's under 100 kilos. He's small for a prop forward, but he's a serious athlete. And in these conditions, how important will the set piece be today?
We're too low, both of you. How we can maintain. Up. Let's go, guys.
Ben Rayner, the man in the middle. Just making sure everything's right. It's a lash outfield. The grass is pretty long. The surface obviously very wet. So he just wants to make sure that both teams have got their footing. That's a decent scrum early on, though. And Tobias Monday, runs straight into trouble. What a hit that is. Paul Brown, the winger, putting it on the back rower. And Charlie Breers is going to put boot to ball. Decent length on the box kick. Flirting with the touchline, taken by Pat Bishop, the captain, and this time Durham are going to take the aerial route. Briers underneath it. Has a little look in behind, but decides to keep it in the hands. And that's one for Will Nicholson to gather. Slippery ball. Nicholson does well. Beautiful footwork from Will Nicholson. Loves that step off the right foot. And Durham looking to run it from inside their own half, having a lot of joy up that left-hand side early on. Now Oscar Daniels got to chase back, or has he? Not this time. The ball has gone out on the full. So a first line-out throw for Nathan Langdon, right in front of his own dugout. That's just about the only support he'll get from that side tonight. Tobias Monday, the target. Not surprising. Spends plenty of time in the second row. Monday, in fact, he played in the second row when Loughborough came up here in the semi-final last season. That's Bryn Davies. Turnover penalty. Well, Davies, easy to spot with that bleach blonde hair, and we'll call it the moustache. You can make up your own mind on whether or not it's a good moustache, but it's a moustache. It exists in the world of facial hair. And here's Bishop with the first chance to kick Durham into the 22. And I'm not going to say this was where they won the league championship this last year, but it was certainly a place where they made a big dent in it. Right on the 22, Jacob Head, the man charged with the darts. His predecessor, Fred Davis, makes his Bristol Bears debut this evening.
Right, let's go, Durham.
We're really excited to see where he goes, and of course all of the other BUCS Super Rugby players who are making their bow across the Prem Cup, the Premiership and beyond. Well taken by Blake. Loughborough immediately looking to halt that drive.
Okay,
and they're told once as a result.
Out, mate. Good. Start using now, Durham.
Right, slow ball. Max Pepper's going to have to dig for this.
Start using.
And he does.
Knock on, advantage.
It's gone loose though, but it's forward off a Loughborough hand. So an opportunity now again for Durham. Oh, lovely tackle. Footwork from Ollie Walker, can't get him away from trouble.
Knock on, just in the tackle.
So a few interesting battles, including the number 13 jersey. Walker and Langston, they faced off in the semi-final last year. The two inside centres, Mikey Ford and Josh Tussler, both making their BUCS Super Rugby debuts. And on the wing as well, well, Paul Brown was due to go up against Sam Kildunn. He swapped jerseys, but Brown's still on the right-hand side. Those two played with each other in the England Sevens development in Croatia this year. Both serious gas merchants. So looking forward to seeing how that unfolds. And despite the conditions, Durham already looking to put it through the hands as well. So I think these wide players are going to see plenty of ball.
We agree before stability, before the ball comes in, both sides, too much movement. Hold your weight.
And all the talk about the front row. The engine room, an interesting one as well. Henry Blake and Billy Hipperson. Second rowers for Durham. Of course, filling the boots of the massive Marin House. And Ewan Murphy as well. Murphy and Dorm are coming onto the bench for Durham. Absolutely massive. Both played 20 minutes for Sale Sharks last night. And then Alfie Scopes captains the team for Loughborough.
Far side, overleaning.
And we don't even get the ball in that time, and it is a free kick to Durham. They're going to want to scrum again. Alfie Scopes back from a year out in Canada. He's a former Saracen. He'll run the line out. Then Mario Pichardi. He's a former Wasp. BUCS Super Rugby debut for him, but he's played plenty of rugby in National 2 for Loughborough. What a breeding ground that is for these players. Of course, Exeter coming a cropper against Hartbury today, but they've flown out of the blocks in National 2 in their first series. 4 wins out of 4, including a thumping victory at Loughborough. Bonus point win on Eppinal Way. Now, here's Bishop. Plenty of options, goes on the back, beautiful line, massive opportunity, and the cover tackle, sensational. Oscar Daniel with the try saver, but Durham knocking on the door. There's the drive, they're over the line, that's the first 5 points to Hollow Drift. First opportunity to score, first visit to the 22, and Durham make it pay under the posts. What a start, a rampant run. Fantastic line from Rory Stewart-Cox. Huge credit to Oscar Daniel for stopping at that phase, but it only took one more phase for Durham to break the deadlock. Less than 8 minutes gone. Durham 5, Loughborough 0. Will Nicholson on kicking duty this evening. Of course he adds the extras. He came in at outside half, started the semi-final and the final after Pat Bishop had that awful head knock against Cardiff in the quarter. Great to see him back playing, great to see Nicholson in the team as well. That is some serious handling options. One chance, one score. Durham 7, Loughborough 0.
Right, time you run white.
And Loughborough barely with a touch yet, find themselves behind in the ledger. Charlie Titcombe bashes that one down the middle. Received by Mikey Ford.
Good wing this you on.
And that is a decent exit.
Durham on the line. Line's yours, Durham.
Here's Nathan Langdon. Bang in front of our commentary position. To be fair, the crowd in the stand not giving him any heat. I'm quite surprised at that, and that's clean ball off the top. Shipped on by Breers. That was Dan Eckersley in at first receiver. He wears 7 today. Teddy Leatherbarrow out with another hamstring injury. He's a big loss for Loughborough as that one's been lost forward. And now Harding Hill, which I'm told they're not happy about. Harding Hill, what can we go with? Fred's Field, Marin's Mound, either way. Big crowd gathering. The sensible ones are sat around me. I'd say in the dry, but there are a fair few holes in the roof, so as dry as you can be, given the circumstances, but the floodlights are on. A lovely buzz around the place as well. BUCS Super Rugby's back, and we're absolutely delighted about it. 10 minutes gone here at Hollow Drift. Durham 7, Loughborough 0.
Lads, who's got the standard in terms of the space overshadowing it, both of you?
Ben Rayner, still not happy with this scrum, is he?
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Another free kick. Loughborough just not getting the scrum right. They drop right on the 22. Great kick and a great take from Oscar Daniel. He's driven back, but he's a confident man under the high ball. He's been involved with London Irish. BSR debut for him. Oh, big collision.
Tackle now.
He's someone that Scott Snedden is pretty excited about. That's a decent start from him as well. That is not an easy take, just outside the 22. So couldn't call the mark. Got drilled before he had the chance anyway. Here's Nicholson. He's got a bit of time to take, and he gets rid of Sam Kildun. Finds Paul Brown. Big shot from Paul Brown. That's on the front row of Bryn Davis as well. And now they send the big men to work. That's Rhodes. Dart here from Pepper. Gets rid of the tackler. That's Mario Picardi. That's some quick ball. Bishop was in at halfback. Tried to go through the Titcombe channel, but he makes the challenge.
Advantage, penalty, too slow.
Penalty advantage. Worth noting, there's a little bit of wind in Durham's favour.
No advantage.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure the players will notice because they are drenched through. But an interesting choice to be made here. This is a kickable penalty. And they are going to go for the sticks as well, looking to get up to double figures. 12 minutes gone. Will Nicholson, confident off the tee.
Number 12 not rolling away. Yeah, just that.
Josh Tussler on debut, the guilty party. You can see a few sensible supporters who've managed to bring their umbrellas to this one. I will tell you that more do not have them than do. And there are quite a few very proudly wearing their Palatinate blazers that are going to be no good to man nor beast when it comes to protecting themselves against these conditions. So here's Will Nicholson
to extend the lead to 10 points. First penalty kick of the match. Short run up. Great strike. Flags go up. Durham extend the lead. 12 minutes gone. Durham 10, Loughborough 0. And Loughborough students yet to have a sniff. Durham dominating conditions, Durham dominating field position, dominating collisions. And Charlie Titcombe gets us back underway. That one bounces, gets a lucky bounce as well. Oh, and that's a decent kick. Another clean exit. Using the wind, using the slope that's just coming towards us at Hollow Drift. And again, Durham find themselves in the Loughborough half.
Right, step in, Loughborough.
Again, decent line-out ball for Loughborough. That is one part of the game that's gone well. Lavin with the carry. Durham, quick defensive lift. No way to get any momentum. And when it's a slow track, that could be a key factor in this game. Bishop chases that one. Finds Nicholson. Oh, more good footwork, this time from Stuart Cox. And this time they put boot to ball. Charlie Breers is going to take that deep. Charlie Breers has missed it. Oh, no, he's coughed it up. And Durham go in for the second try. They are having so much joy at that left-hand side. Ollie Walker pounces on the loose ball. That is a mistake from Loughborough, but it's brilliant use of the conditions from Durham. And that left-hand side, goodness me, Loughborough need to tighten that up. Because every time Durham put width on the ball, they look like they're going to make a dent. 15 minutes gone, Durham going at a point a minute. And the questions that we were asking, will they be able to pick up where they left off? Well, it was well gathered by Ollie Walker. That bouncing, slippery ball, ankle height. So difficult to deal with. Charlie Breers chasing back. He went to ground. Couldn't gather it. Loughborough in deep, deep trouble here. Will Nicholson, flawless so far. Looking to take his personal tally up to 8. Oh, but this time drifts across the face. Looked good, wasn't good, but 15 minutes, 15-0. Dream start for Durham. Titcombe goes a little bit shorter this time, but it's a laboured chase from Loughborough. Bryn Davis the first there.
Off feet, number 5.
Oh, and then Durham go off feet. First mistake. And what do Loughborough do here? This is a kickable penalty. Chance to get some points on the board. But I think the law of the corner, now they're 3 scores behind, might be a little bit too much. And it is. Titcombe. Great boot. I don't know how much Prem Cup you've been watching, but set up Harry Dole. Another BUCS Super Rugby export. For Worcester Warriors. Put it on a sixpence for the former Swansea man. Now Loughborough with a chance to strike straight back, and I think Durham will be absolutely furious about this. 2 chances they've had, 2 tries they've scored. This is the first time Loughborough have been anywhere near the 22, and once again the line out purrs, so watch out for Nathan Langdon. Durham getting bodies through, looking to spoil this, but Loughborough closing in on the line. But they are short. Marcus Rhodes was sniffing around, but instead they're going to pick up Bryn Davis. Davis reaches for the line, doesn't get there. Another penalty. Compound penalties here for Durham. They need to be careful. Oh, Loughborough thought for a second they were going to tap and go, but with the line out going so well, of course Titcombe picks out the corner. See the Loughborough replacements lining up behind there. Very envious of their long subs coats. Catch and drive for Loughborough then. Langdon on the ball going towards the line. Ben Rayner goes under the posts. Penalty try. 3 penalties in quick succession for Durham. Loughborough on the scoreboard and back in the game.
Number two.
Jacob Head, the man blamed.
Number 2. Collapsing them all.
And both teams taking full advantage of their opportunities. 2 for Durham have both yielded tries, and that one for Loughborough, their first visit to the opponent's 22. 2 well-executed line-outs. They backed themselves to go for the 7-pointer instead of taking the easy 3. 17 minutes gone. Durham 15, Loughborough 7.
Yeah. Number 2 collapsing. Second.
See Claire Thomas buzzing around. She's having a lovely time. She'll be catching up with Durham legend Marion House at half-time. And I've committed to it now, so it has to happen. Durham getting us back underway. That's a much better carry. Strong work there by Tobias Monday. But it's slow ball, and Durham can set that Palatinate defensive line. And on a night like tonight, I would not fancy running into that. Not a lot of depth on the box kick, but a good chase from Loughborough. And it's bounced into the breadbasket of Marcus Rhodes. Here's Bishop. Half charge down. Sam Kildun going backwards. Up against Paul Brown. Brown well over the ball.
On the ball, on the body.
Got down quickly there, Paul Brown. Big size advantage, him over Sam Kildun.
Right, let's go 9.
But both men, serious gas. Dickham drills that one low. Oh, now Durham turning it on at the left-hand side again. That's where the space is. Rory Stewart-Cox again puts boots to ball again. Loughborough chasing back through Charlie Breers. I think Breers just about getting away with it this time.
Good contest, then off feet.
But how quick does Rory Stewart-Cox look on that left-hand side? Bryn Davis, another carry from him, but another solid contact from Durham.
Not using.
Decent take from Nicholson, but he's met with a white wall.
13, straight off feet.
Oh, Ollie Walker off his feet.
13, straight off feet, stopping the contest.
And on days like today, where it's wet overhead and slippery underfoot, you've really got to be careful when you're coming in for those clear-outs.
Are we taking him off?
Casting the mind back to the semi-final here. Sol Hyde was at inside centre. He lost his footing with a tackle, got a yellow card for a high one. I think if we'd have had the benefit of the video, it could have even been worse than that. Player welfare, really important. So right on the 22 for Loughborough then. Seem to have steadied the ship somewhat. Yet to see them really use this exciting backline. Alfie Scopes, the captain, takes the line out. And it's a decent maul for Loughborough. I think it's going to break up, but Durham have got some hands on the ball, but Loughborough bring it out. So Josh Tassler looks to get over the gain line. Good clear out. Here's Mink Sharink. Front rowers looking to get their hands dirty. Monday.
Arrive up right.
It's a good carry from Monday. Loughborough within 10 metres now. Davis round the corner. That's a race that Loughborough are looking to win.
Back.
Now Langston. Loughborough closing in again. Look, a different team. There's the ball out wide. The tackle comes in. Has Kildun got it? Yes, he has. Sam Kildun back in the team, back on the score sheet. 12 unanswered points for Loughborough. And the stand at Hollow Drift is silent. Not sure I'm making any friends here by saying that. Well, Sam Kildun.
What do we think of Loughborough? Shit! We think of shit! Loughborough! Thank you! That's all
And they nearly sang a song as well. Fair play. Durham 15, Loughborough 12. 22 minutes gone. Charlie Titcombe, tough conversion from the touchline. Well, Kildun, as we mentioned, played alongside Paul Brown in Croatia. That England Sevens team, great opportunity for those players. In fact, in this Durham team, plenty of boys played some good sevens this season, both on the circuit and internationally. Titcombe, Paul Brown closing it down. And that one drifts across the face. Tough conversion. Good pressure there from Paul Brown. In the Leeds Beckett Nottingham game earlier, we actually had a conversion charge down. How often do you see that? But now we've got a game on our hands. Durham 15, Loughborough 12. 23 minutes gone. Very warm welcome to you wherever you're watching around the world. Spoke earlier to Mink Sharink's dad, to Henry Lavin's mum. I know that we've got viewers over in Chile as well. Hopefully the conditions are a lot better where you are than where we are. The rain's eased off, but it's still coming down here at Hollow Drift under the lights. Again, Charlie Breers decides that the boot is the right way to go. There's Bishop. Oh, that looked a forward pass, but he's got away with it. But it's been spilled. Titcombe off the left boot this time. Kildun to chase. Brown chasing back as well. Bishop's going to get there first and gathers it well. Steady hands from the skipper. Loughborough over the ball, sniffing around the penalty. But Ben Rayner having none of it. And now it's up to Durham to exit. They kicked really well so far. Nicholson and Bishop, both with kicking options. But this time it's going to be Pepper. Here's Daniel underneath it. He's going to look to attack. Well, runs into three Durham players. The clear out comes in. There are hands on that from Mikey Ford, but he's called off. It's Dan Eckersley.
Back foot.
Open side for Loughborough. Decent quick ball, that's Sharink, and he finds Titcombe. Loughborough going through the hands this time. That's Tobias Monday with a little bit of space to run into on the right-hand side, right in front of that full house crowd. Oh! Massive hit from the second rowers, and it's gone forward. And there's some afters. Oh, BUCS Super Rugby is back, and we love it.
Nothing there, lads. Just a knock-on. Just a knock-on. Mark's going to be here. Box here, guys. Box here, guys.
Tough one for Langdon to take.
Scrum.
Tell you what, though, Henry Blake and Billy Hipperson, those two second rowers for Durham. Whoa, serious shoulders.
7 sub, 7 purple.
So Tom Arl coming off. Oh, another look at that shot. That's Nathan Langdon. And that is a second row sandwich. Henry Blake, Billy Hipperson. Ouch.
Well, bind, set.
So Mikey Ford has gone into the scrum. He is a converted back rower. Well, he's not that converted because he's back in the back row. As that's punted straight downfield. Oscar Daniel fancies the 50-22, but Nicholson does really well. Great take from the 15 in the rain.
Keep coming out.
And there's a hole there that Will Sanders is going to have to chase back. He doesn't fancy the kick.
Hold him from right. Keep going. Hold. On now. Durham, keep coming out.
Now, I think we've got to the point in the kick chase where the forwards just give up and stand in the middle of the pitch. Here's Titcombe.
Right.
Again, goes for that low driving kick.
Yeah,
as well to split the Durham men. Oh no, they're still running shuttles, to be fair.
4-1, wait, 12. Wait. Good. Hold it from white. Keep coming, keep coming.
Well, it's very much turned into one for the purists until Durham decide to carry. Brilliant from Marcus Rhodes. Kick it to a number 8, and that's what happens.
Hands away!
So Durham win that kicking battle.
Still in.
And they've got good field position here. Options both sides. And they go to the blind side. Again, it's Rhodes. He looks confident with ball in hand.
7 knots a point of weight. Oh, we can't. No, no, no.
Well, it's getting tasty out there. Very much reeks of a season opener.
Yeah, mark's it. Shot's called.
And no surprise, given the conditions, given the chance they've been under the, given the fact they've been under the cosh for a bit, that Durham going to go for the posts. Will Nicholson been smart with the boot, and that rain is teeming down, probably as heavy as it's been all evening.
Yeah, just on me. Yeah, just there. We've had 30 gone. 30. Oh, I'll check for you.
So Jed Shaw is on. We're in number 16.
Thanks.
It's down as the hooker. Can't see yet whether or not Jacob Head has left the field of play, so he might be packing down in the back row. In the meantime, here's Will Nicholson to take the lead to 6 points. Splits the uprights, decent kick, makes it 18-12. Just settles it down for Durham. Good game, everyone. Hope you're enjoying this one as much as we are. Great to be back. Hopefully you watched Nottingham versus Leeds Beckett earlier. Joe Burns was down there for that one. If not, then that'll be available to watch anytime, and the highlights will be coming out across the BUCS Super Rugby socials. What a start to BUCS Super Rugby life for James Cherry and co. They said they were going to come to play, and they definitely did. Came from behind as well. It was a slow start. No, is that one going to go out on the full? Yes, it is. Few uncharacteristic errors here for Durham. Hand in Loughborough field position.
It's back on. Yeah. Where's yours?
And Hartbury as well, coming back to beat Exeter at Topsham. Now Exeter will probably moan about the fact they were missing 9 players because they were playing for Exeter Chiefs in the Premiership Cup, but still, for Dan Murphy's team to win down there is no mean feat. Oh, the referee has got in the way. Unlucky Dan Eckersley, you're not playing in green tonight. The other fixtures tonight as well, absolute mouthwater, as Swansea against Cardiff Met. Swansea, the first Welsh team to beat Cardiff Met. That was at King Coyd in conditions actually worse than this. And Bath against Cardiff University. 2 teams very much looking to improve on last season's performance.
Start using that. Stay on 7, stay on.
Titcombe, not clean ball for him at all, so he sends it short. Has that been lost in the contact zone by Langston? Yes, it has. Oh, and the celebration from Jake Spurway as well. He loves that. Big defensive effort. Gets a warm round of applause from the crowd behind me. It's very civilised, actually. I'm feeling their warmth.
It's not going anywhere.
Now, Sam Kildun is the one closest to the crowd as well. He's starting to get their attention. Not rising to it. Sister Ellie, of course, on the plane. Big part of the Red Roses World Cup charge.
We're too close, we're too close.
And Ben Rayner not happy with this scrum at all.
Right, line up, let's go.
I don't want to put too fine a point on this because I mentioned it a few times, but it is hosing down. They keep telling me it was sunny all the pre-season, but I'm not having it at all because every time we come up here, the weather is absolutely hanging. Oscar Daniel! Oh, has he knocked that on or has it gone backwards? Oh, wow. He has been flawless under the high ball until this point. The wind and the rain affecting the Loughborough debutant. And that is a big, big win for Durham. Just having a look around while the scrum packs down. BUCS' legendary photographer and videographer Jack is down there. I hope his camera's waterproof. Goodness me. He'll need a rowing boat to get around the pitch if it gets any heavier. Oh yeah, he's even got his rugby boots on and his socks pulled up over his jeans. You've got to respect it. There's no such thing as bad conditions, just bad clothing. And it comes from Pepper. Nobody on the blind side here for Durham, incidentally. So you've got Pat Bishop stood at first receiver, but he's got Paul Brown as the inside ball option. Oh, the crowd. Some dry ones, some wet ones. No, some wet ones, some even more wet ones. I mean, umbrellas are one thing, but you need scuba diving kit. Next time we come up here, I'll have to text Claire to remind her to bring me the snorkel. Alas, it's a good game. Half an hour gone, 10 to go till half-time. Durham in the ascendancy, both on the scoreboard and in terms of field position. Oh, this time it's Pat Bishop who comes a cropper. Just as Loughborough are starting to get the nudge in the scrum as well. The last couple have moved in their direction. That's putting the pressure on at the back of the scrum, making it a nightmare for Max Pepper. And Pat Bishop having to pick it off the bootlaces. Fingers crossed they've got the heaters turned on in the sheds at half-time. Lovely clubhouse here at Durham City, actually, and two balconies that are absolutely packed. It is busy. Hopefully we get an attendance at some point, but it looks like a couple of thousand here between this full stand and the packed-out Harding Hill that's continuing to get full. Stott, Head and Kayada up against Davis, Langdon and Sharink. Here it comes from Breers. Looks like an early push. But and this time Durham get through, but it's a Loughborough penalty. Driving up on the far side. But it's another incomplete scrum. And I think that's something that both teams will be looking to sort out. Well, preferably before half-time, but definitely when they chat it through.
Line, go on the line.
Well, if you're just joining us, the story of the game so far, Durham flew out to a 15-point lead after 15 minutes. Loughborough responded. 2 tries in quick succession, one of them a penalty try. Oh, and then, just as we've been complimenting the Loughborough line-out, Nathan Langdon pumps the throw. Gives away the free kick. So yes, Durham 15, then Loughborough 12 unanswered points, and then a penalty from Will Nicholson, the most recent score, to make it 18-12, as that one goes high into the night sky. Someone's going to have to put a name on this for Loughborough. Oh, that's a really good pickup from Oscar Daniel. Quite low floodlights here at Hollow Drift, so those high up and unders go above the lights and drop back down, so they're an absolute nightmare to take.
Timing, Durham.
So Daniel does well and responds from that one that he knocked on previously. Now it's Durham's turn. Decent take from Nicholson. So difficult to play rugby, as they say, in these conditions. Penalty advantage here for Durham. And I think they'll be delighted to not have to exit, to have a free one, and then maybe have an opportunity to get one more score before half-time. Well, having mentioned Jack's cameras, he's just come here to try and dry them off. Decent enough clearance. A lot of the rugby has been played in this middle third.
Yeah, just happy, lads. Right, let's go, Durham. We'll have a single straight line. Yeah, got advantage.
Well, Blake has reached for that one. Not the cleanest of balls. In fact, it was forward off a white arm.
Advantage, knock on. You got about 30 seconds.
Well, the rain coming down to a point here where we can barely see the far side of the pitch. Charge down made. Just a reminder that our clock isn't linked in with the referee's watch, and I think I've just heard him say 30 seconds to go until half-time.
Just knocked on the line out.
So as we get towards the 80th minute, if your team are just ahead or just behind, don't get too excited, because there might still be a little bit of meat left on the bone. So yes, don't go anywhere at half-time, because we'll be talking you through all of the highlights, as well as hearing from Marin. He'll be live with Claire. Be great to get his insight on exactly what it means to be a Palatinate. Of course, he's still very close with all the lads, and he started his own championship journey as well. Of course, we talk about all of the Durham players that have gone on to play in the Premiership, but all of that front row, that engine room that we talk about, they're all plying their trade for really good teams in the champ. Bedford Blues, Coventry, etc. as Loughborough. Oh, my goodness me, what a scrum, and they coughed up the ball. Have Durham. Oh, but Titcombe gets mullered.
Hands out!
And it is not looking like a rugby match out there right now. More like some kind of jelly wrestling. But somehow it's come back to Durham's side. And they're just outside the 22. And have they got an opportunity before half-time? Loughborough with some defending to do. Coming towards the end of the first half. Still looking to put some width on it. Oh, lovely short ball from Bishop. He finds Rory Stewart-Cox coming off his wing. It's loose. It's a little bit too loose. And that takes us through to half-time. I think both of these teams will be absolutely delighted to get into the dry. In fact, some of them sprinting off the pitch. It is advantage Durham. But this topsy-turvy first half has given us plenty to talk about. Durham flew out of the gates. Loughborough struck back. We've seen that their set piece is pretty good, but Durham looks so dangerous, particularly up the left-hand side. It is a sodden hollow drift. But at the interval, Durham have the lead. They lead 18 points to 12. And the players are so desperate to get into the sheds that there's actually a bottleneck through the door. It'll be first to the hand dryers to try and get some feeling back in the fingers. But that's where we are at half-time. 40 to go here at Hollow Drift. Durham 18, Loughborough 12. Oh, he's coming back. Oh, the high ball's gone up. He's never going to catch it. No, not in these conditions. Anyway, we were saying Nottingham with a brilliant victory against Leeds Beckett. Nightmare start for Beckett as they look to improve on last year. And then, of course, Hartbury coming from behind to beat Exeter at Topsham, the champions. Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights then from the first half. God, look at that. It looks positively tropical, doesn't it? That was Will Nicholson putting the boot through it. He's been pretty good given the conditions, and it's his boot that's the difference between the two teams. This was the mistake from Breers, just dived a little bit too early. Ollie Walker reacted really, really well to that. That was not an easy pickup, and he grounded it. The first try was where Durham absolutely flooded forward after finding space at the left-hand side. Rory Stewart-Cox and Will Nicholson have looked sumptuous down that left-hand side. Then as night fell and rain fell, Loughborough started to get back into it, but Nicholson again, the trusty right boot, adding points. How important will those penalties be as we get towards the latter part of the game? This is when Loughborough started to come back into it. They've really been starved of territory, but the line-out's gone well. They went for the catch and drive. It was compound penalties, back-to-back penalties, 3 in a row for Durham. Jacob Head dragged it down, and Ben Rayner went under the sticks. And that was just after the penalty had gone over as well, so Durham was sitting pretty. They always say that teams are the most vulnerable after they've conceded, but that was the penalty for Nicholson that took Durham up to 18. This was the drop from Oscar Daniel. He's been pretty good in this half, but you can see just from that end bit exactly how much the conditions have changed. It's hard work out there for these teams, but they have managed to get some points on the board. They have managed to play some running rugby. Sam Kildunn scored in the corner for Loughborough's second try. Well, in fact, I can see Claire getting ready now. She's not just got Marin. I think she's got, is that Monty Royston as well? Either way, she's got a couple of sexy beefcakes with her, a couple of Durham legends. Very much looking forward to hearing from them, and that's the beauty of these clubs as well. They mean so much to the players. They wear the badges forever. This is perhaps the last opportunity they get to really play for a team that they absolutely love. Of course, they go on to achieve incredible things in rugby, in life. I mean, we've had players like Ben Foles. I thought that he was going to be quids in, a dead cert to play professional rugby, but he's gone the corporate route and he's having a great time now, probably earning a fortune. Hello, Folsey, if you're watching. But now it is time to hear from Claire. She has got a couple of Durham legends with her.
Gents, a couple of Durham legends. That is the tee-up that you've just received from Dave Rogers. They are indeed Palatinate legends. I'm with Marianne House and Matthew Woody Woodward. Gents, first half, what have you made of it?
Do you want me to?
Absolutely.
I think it's been a very scrappy game, obviously. Conditions aren't doing anyone any well. I think Pat Bishop has been good for Durham. He's been putting people in holes. I wish he was doing that for us last year. Shame about that. I think Will Nick's been kicking very well for Durham as well. But I think Charlie Titcombe for Loughborough, I think he's been equalising it, kicking it back. And I think at the moment it's just playing the conditions, who can come out on top. Scrums are a bit even as well. No one's really winning in that regard. So,
yeah, like you said, it's just a bit scrappy because of the rain, but I mean, it's been physical, it's been good, we've seen some good tries, so it's been fairly enjoyable.
Do you think that Durham are playing the conditions well as things stand? They're a whisker ahead at half-time. Are they the ones getting the greasy battle right?
what score is it, by the way, at the moment?
18-12.
18-12. I think at the moment it's probably 50-50. They're both kicking well, but they're both catching well. And I think some hands will be going cold inside over half-time, and I think the winner will depend on who kicks the best and who catches the best as well.
I agree fully. It's been a bit 50-50 in the scrum time as well. Durham have had some good scrums, but over here on this line just now, they've struggled a little bit and they conceded 2 tries. So,
well, especially when it's as wet as this, the scrum is a true dark art. So, Woody, I'm going to hand over to you. What have you made of that particular set piece? Because last year it was a weapon for your side.
Oh yeah, well, hats off go to my front row colleagues Monty Royston, Fred Davies and myself. We enjoyed that while it lasted last year. It's a shame to see that it's not been continued in the first 40 minutes of Durham this season. But I think at the end of the day, you've just got to knuckle down, especially in conditions like these. There isn't much you can do. You've got to help. The ref's got to help you out sometimes, and when it's wheeling like that, especially on this turf, you just got to hope for the best.
So Pat on the field right now and shining, as you said, in that fly half jersey. There is a titan to summon from the bench. Ewan Murphy's the other co-captain. I'd just like to get a word from both of you on them as leaders. What did you see of them in your time as teammates with them? And how do you think they'll do filling the enormous shoes of Fred Davies?
I think Bet will do really well for the controlling the backs. Obviously he's leading the team out as captain today. Yeah, he's got a good co-captain with him, Ewan Murphy. But yeah, they need to step up. Fred was a character. He led the team. He was like a secret coach to us, really. He did everything behind the scenes, and they've got some big shoes to fill. But I'm very confident they'll do well.
I think Fred was a brilliant captain, and I think one thing that helps us as well, especially with me, someone coming in from the outside, my first year at Durham, there was a lot of leaders in the team, not just Fred, Marin, Nigel, Jack and Jamie down there. They were both very good as well. Another few leaders as well, and I think that's Durham's challenge this year, is can people step up into those shoes, not just Fred's, but the collective shoes of the leading from the front. And I think if we start seeing some big hits and some big carries, people will rise to that challenge, and hopefully Durham will come out on top.
It's been a game of momentum swings. Durham raced to a 15-0 lead. I know you've not been keeping a close track on the scoreline, so there you go. It was 15-0.
I tell you what, when you're on that Jack Hill over there, when you're on the Jack Hill and there's someone stood in front of you, you are not seeing over the top of anyone's head. It's a steep hill.
Very quick to defend yourself there.
No, it is very good to see a lot of people on Jack's Hill over there, even in the rain. It's a big turnout to the game, and yeah, it's good to see. Durham going well.
Calling it Jack's Hill. Dave actually in commentary called it Marine Mound earlier. How does that sound to you?
Wow, fair. Oh, he's making all these sorts of names, but no, let's just call it Jack's Hill, Hardings Hill, Durham's Hill. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think there is a kind of undulating terrain that starts with a W, so Woody's Wood. There's a wood up there. Should we go with Woody's Wood? It's a game. Woody's Walk, very good. It's a slippery walk at the moment. I've seen a couple of people stack it already in the rain. Now, it's been a half of momentum swings. What do you think is going to be getting said by Sion there right now? What's he asking of his leaders, and how do Durham actually start to dictate things in the second 40?
I think he's mainly just going to ask for control. He's going to just control the kicking game, try and get into their half-play territory, put the pressure on them, and at scrum time, just make sure they win the scrum, don't go too hard, don't try and push too hard and slip or whatever. And I wouldn't really know what they're going to say to the backs, but I'd imagine they're just going to keep kicking it into their half.
Yeah, I can't imagine the game plan will be changing that much. I think at the moment both teams have been probably executing their game plan very well. I know when we went out to Loughborough last year, they were very fond of kicking, and it's replicated again tonight. I know they would rather chuck it about a bit more, and I think at the moment it's going to be a sort of blink first scenario. Whoever drops the ball, gives a scrum away that then goes under the post, I think that will be who wins the game tonight.
One thing's for sure, it's going to be a close game to the end there.
Definitely.
I'm sure you've both been enjoying your afternoon, exploring Durham, revisiting old haunts, but did you catch any of the scores from the two earlier kickoffs? Because Hartbury beat Exeter in their own backyard, and New Kids on the Block Nottingham, they beat Leeds Beckett comfortably. So do you think there could be some unexpected final placings in this year's BUCS Super Rugby table?
I think every year Exeter have got a great programme. I think they're always going to be up there. I think Loughborough looking sharp this year. They've retained most of the boys. Fortunately for us, we have lost a few. But from what I've seen up to now, I don't think Durham will be worried too much. I think they're still going to be in contention. I did get to see some of the Nottingham game with Beckett. Both teams looked quite good. A lot of tries in that game, unlike ours a lot of the time.
No, it's definitely good to see Nottingham stepping up straight away and having a good game against Leeds Beckett. Obviously Leeds Beckett are always a physical side. They've got a good scrum, good maul, and it's good to see a team like Nottingham to just be able to keep up.
So finally, one word answer before we get back to Dave in commentary, because the teams are reluctantly back out on the field. Who's topping the league this year?
No comment.
Sorry, what's the question?
Who's going to top the table this year?
Us. Durham.
Confident. We heard you and Murphy say before the match, wearing Colasinate means winning. Can Durham make Colasinate mean a triumph again tonight? Let's find out. Dave, back to you. Gentlemen, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Clay. Great to hear from Woody and Marin as well. Two BUCS Super Rugby legends. Right, and I'm from a distance, of course. I did think it was Monty. Sorry, Monty. Hope you're well, mate, and enjoying life in Bedford. But Charlie Titcombe gets us underway.
Hold Durham.
In the second half, 18-12. Decent clearance kick to begin with. Great to hear from Simon Cruz at half-time as well. For those of you who follow BUCS Super Rugby, you'll know that he is forever the king of BUCS Super Rugby stats. He was here from the very beginning. I'm involved with the RFU, but a great guy, and hope you're enjoying the game. And that goes for all of you, wherever you're watching around the world. Great to have your company. BUCS Super Rugby is back. And Loughborough are behind.
Right, line that's over. Don't change.
At Hollow Drift. Oh, do you know what? Someone's lost their scrum cap there. I thought it was the ball, but somehow Durham have come away with it. And there's going to be a chase on here, but the ball's gone forward. And the reason that Woody was calling it the Jack Hill is because the majority of Durham are absolutely furious that I've called it Harding Hill. But I tell you what, if you come out of this team and you tear it up for Bristol Bears the way Fitz Harding has, then you get the hill named after you. But yes, Marin's Mound, Fred's Field, Woody's Wood.
Bind.
Good to see that Woody as well doesn't feel the need to get rid of his can for his half-time interview either.
Hold that space.
He's just embracing being back at Durham. Second half underway. They were right in what they said, though. Both teams have tried to play rugby, but it's been a little bit scrappy because of the conditions. Ben Rayner was really particular about the put-in at the scrum in the first half. Are we going to get to see them play in the second? And it comes from Charlie Breers. Charlie Titcombe waits, but Durham have gone straight through Loughborough and win a massive scrum penalty. Again, it's Jake Spurway leading the celebrations. He is the main cheerleader in that scrum in the blue hat. And that's a great start for Durham in this second half. Chance for Bishop to find a good touch, and a chance for Jacob Head to find his man.
Yeah, just snap his lads.
Straight into the 22. Oscar Stott trots across. Meeting of the front row brains trust to sort this one out.
Step in, single straight line before it comes in. More!
That's taken by Hipperson. Oh, knock forward. We're going to see those mistakes made in these conditions, but that doesn't make it any less frustrating for the teams.
Line it was over, so it's just there. Thanks, Fred.
And again, lads, and again! Let's go!
9, I need the ball in quicker. Ball in quicker, yeah. The scrum was steady for me, that one on.
Well, Loughborough with the put in this time, but Durham definitely with the wind in their sails when it comes to scrum time.
Whoa!
Here's Breers. He's got Will Sanders as an option just behind, but it'll be a brave man who goes up the blind side in their own 22. Oh, the scrum's messy, but it does come out of the back. Well played by Tobias Munday, and then knocked on by Josh Tussler. Oh, my goodness. Couple of mistakes here for Loughborough. Durham in the ascendancy. Great.
Number 1, number 5.
Field position. So Stott's going to come off. Hipperson is going to come off.
I love you guys. Yeah. Yeah.
Replacing them, Sale Sharks' own Mark Dormer and Ewan Murphy.
Right, both of you square. 1, shoulder out as well. 3, stay square.
Well, this is massive to have 2 players with that kind of pedigree come off the bench.
Bind.
We wondered how long they'd get. 35 minutes is the answer. In it comes then from Pepper. Durham looking for the penalty, but they're told to use it. They've got space at the blind side here, and Charlie Breers has to do well to contain the number 8, Marcus Rhodes. There's the carry from Spurway. He's met by Loughborough defenders. Oh, and that's bounced straight up off the chest, but backwards, says the referee. Oh, it's like a bar of soap for Durham to try and deal with at the moment, but somehow they are still on the ball. And now they've got the chance to take out the back. The delayed pass is a good one. Mikey Ford gets the ball away to Stuart Cox. Oh, he is a dynamo on the ball, Rory Stuart Cox. It's so busy when he's had the chance. Henry Lavin called off it because he had his hands on the floor. Bishop just takes his eyes off it but gets away with it. Mikey Ford puts that one out to Brown. It's off the foot of Brown, so he gets away with it. Oh, and then Paul Brown pumps the legs and keeps it alive for Durham. They've been clinical inside the 22 so far. This is their first opportunity of the second half. Still 18-12, no points scored yet in this second half. About 5 or 6 metres out from the try line.
Keep moving wide.
Slow ball, but it's consistent ball here for Durham.
Hands out, he's in the way.
And then back against the grain goes Mikey Ford, but it's a good carry from the 12. They're so narrow here, Durham. Paul Brown's waiting out on the right-hand side, but I don't think the ball's going to be going there anytime soon, even though he is in acres of space. Durham so close to try number 3.
Keep arriving up.
Even closer after that carry. There's half a gap there.
Hands off. Off feet.
Reaching for the line, but still building here, Durham. Loughborough desperately defending.
Hands away wide. Back foot, use the line. Advantage, offside, number 2.
On Loughborough offside, so now it's a free go here for Durham. Is Pat Bishop going to take a step out of the forward, still going to try and bludgeon their way through? For the time being, bludgeoning it is. Tom Arl back on for Durham. He was briefly off the pitch in the first half.
Still advantage.
Working their way to that corner.
Back foot.
Again, if they do want to put the boot on it, Paul Brown is in so much space on the right-hand side.
Turnover's good there, we'll come back for the penalty.
Well, a lung-busting defensive effort from Loughborough, particularly knowing that the penalty was coming.
No, it's here.
Managed to pinch the ball.
Hands in front of the back foot.
But Durham are going to get to go again. So what's going to be the choice here?
Okay, guys.
Scrum's an option, but instead Bishop's going to go for the corner.
Mine's the centre. Yeah, just up his lads, that's good. Durham, keep it at the front, timing white. Right, let's go, Durham.
Oh, it's an overthrow. Which way is it going to bounce? It's come back into the hands of Durham.
Option.
But it wasn't straight, and Loughborough escape, and that lung-busting defensive effort, absolutely worth it. Score remains Durham 18, Loughborough 12, and that the first time Durham have failed to be clinical when inside the 22. That is big. But Loughborough really struggled for territory in the first half, and already in the second, 8 minutes in, they find themselves having to exit from inside their own 22. The 2 men deep for Durham are Pat Bishop and Will Nicholson, the men expecting the kick. Now the rain's still pouring, but interestingly the breeze has died down a bit, so Loughborough don't have it in their favour the same way that Durham did in the first half.
Oh, let's go.
But again, without meaning to labour the point, it's just a bit soggy, wet and miserable. Still a buzz in this stand behind me, though. People enjoying the rugby. Not letting the damp put them off at all.
Bind.
And again, with the likes of Woody and Marin coming back to watch. Another decent scrum here. Well, Durham putting the squeeze on, but again, looking dominant, but conceding the penalty. Not straight on the loose head side. And that'll be frustrating for Durham, because that's a free exit for Loughborough. And Titcombe can clear the lines. This one might be coming for us, actually. Oh, not quite. Camera operators nearly called into action.
Just hold. Say that one again, Dave. Just hold him, hold.
10 minutes the second half gone. Still no front row changes for Loughborough. So here's Langdon. Finds his man. That man is Mario Picciardi. And then Henry Lavin takes it to the gain line. Durham maybe creeping a bit offside there. I think Henry Blake might just about got away with one. And Bryn Davis
start on Durham.
Takes it in for Loughborough.
Timing. Still in. let's go. Ball's out, play,
Oh, that one half charged down, goes up above the line of the floodlights. Oh, has that gone forward off a Palatinate hand? No, says the referee. So Bishop is going to run it back into the contact zone, takes on his opposite number, Charlie Titcombe, and gets up over the gain line. This time it's Marcus Rhodes' turn.
Turner was good, first man.
Oh, what a pickup, one-handed there by Monday in these conditions. And he goes on the charge, gets rid of two Durham men and gets the offload away. Now James Langston puts it out to the left-hand side. Durham scream forward, referee says flat-ish, but driven out into touch.
Relax, guys, relax, relax, relax. Just touch, just touch.
And every time there's a contact zone, a conflict zone, it looks like it's on a knife edge, like it might kick off. Change for Loughborough. Jake Metcalf has come on to the right wing. He was an England under-18, former Newcastle Falcon, actually, so he's not too unfamiliar with this part of the world. Big guy, comes off his wing.
Durham, let's speed this up.
Another player that they're quite excited about down in the East Midlands.
Durham, you have a single straight line before we go. Yeah, inside. More!
That's good ball at the back. Ewan gathers it.
Line that's over.
Versatile, second rower, back rower, big general. If there is some physical action, expect him to be in the midst of it. There's a great maul here for Durham as well. Making easy meters, draining Loughborough's resources.
Out, 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 out.
Ball's on the ground. Pepper's going to have to do something with it at some point. They're not in a rush. And this one that they're going to have to come for. It's gone to ground, and it's gone forward off Durham. Well, the second half thus far has been one for the purists, and I don't want to curse it, but I think the rain has stopped. No, it's just lighter. This time it's Loughborough's turn to kick it dead. Now, if I had a co-commentator, this would be where I'd talk about the advantage rule, because, or the law, should I say. Rugby has laws, because it's gone forward off a Palatinate hand. Loughborough kicked the ball dead, but that's not deemed as an advantage. Alas, good opportunity here, and that's well taken as well by Henry Blake. Under pressure, Bishop sends it high. Daniel with a question to answer. On a good shot on Tom Arl. And he does well under pressure. Knock-on advantage. Well, there was knock-on advantage. Another heavy carry from Marcus Rhodes. He's been really physical this evening. Pepper, now Nicholson in at first receiver. Half a gap for Jake Spurway. Now Bishop. Out the back to Mikey Ford. And Ollie Walker fancies that, but Loughborough managed to recover. Up the blind side, little snipe from Pepper. Loughborough think they've turned that over, but referee, as you can hear, body, not the ball. And Dormer with hands on the ball. That's a quick one out to Tom Arl. Thought it could have gone one more. And again, defensively, Loughborough looking strong. Just out of your shot, Oscar Daniel looks pretty uncomfortable. Think he's going to get some medical attention. Titcombe clears, and I think players starting to drop now. The physicality of this game is taking its toll. There's a Durham player down getting his hamstring stretched out. Couldn't see who that was because the grass is so long here, but Jake Spurway it was, back on his own 2 feet. Jogging into action. He has been all action, actually, Jake Spurway. Was with the team last year, but was away so often with Scotland under-20s. They didn't see him as much as they'd have liked. Serious athlete. I'm led to believe that he's got the lowest body fat percentage in the whole team, but that could mean literally anything with this lot. Another good line out for Loughborough.
Don't change, don't change. Out 17, out.
Good maul as a result. You can see Ewan Murphy climbing through that, trying to cause chaos.
That's once, White, once. Start using.
It's been a change at scrum half for Loughborough. Tom Miles on, wearing 22. You can tell he's new because his shirt's a different colour to everyone else's.
Tackle away, purple. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. The tackle is broken off.
Well, Loughborough keeping it narrow, and Dan Eckersley trying to wriggle his way through. Just about rescued, but Durham all over this.
No! Advantage.
Well, Loughborough with the advantage, thinking about the kick. That's one for Metcalf to chase, and Metcalf is going to make this very difficult for Will Nicholson. In fact, he's going to run that out, and we're going to go back for the advantage, and that was well played from Nicholson. Didn't panic. Now, what does Loughborough do here? It's a tough kick, but the line-out's been going well. Just look at that camera shot. You can see how difficult the conditions are for these teams.
Yeah, line's yours, right?
And Loughborough have gone for the corner, the far corner. Long way away from us, long way away from all these Durham supporters. And with Loughborough defending as well as they have done, what can they do in attack? Alfie Scopes, the captain, takes it. And Loughborough goes searching for the corner. Searching for the try that would bring them right back into this first game. But this is well dealt with by Durham. Can they find the touchline? Not just yet. Tom Miles is going to have to dig for it.
Hands away now, White. Back foot, back foot. Back foot.
Oh, in fact, Durham have turned it over. Brilliant work from the home team.
Step White, White too.
And in answer to the question, what can they do defensively? Exactly that. Henry Blake looks to set the platform.
Back foot, back foot. Right, let's use that now, Durham.
Still needs to be a good exit, though. Oh, Bryn Davis, offside.
Number 1, offside.
Now, in the circumstances, that's a bad mistake from Bryn Davis. 20 minutes to go in the game. First bit of territory Loughborough have had. Durham struggling with the exit, and Bryn Davis gifts them the chance to get out.
Yeah, on the 5, yeah, just in line, yeah, on the 5.
18 minutes in, chances at both ends, still scoreless in the second half, still Durham leading by 6, 18 points to 12.
Just there, lads. Yeah, that's the 5.
Overthrow, picked up by Langdon. Error ridden from both teams. Oh, and then Loughborough cough up another penalty. What a crazy passage of play.
No, hey. On his feet, all right. Holding.
So Langdon that time holding on. Another chance for Bishop to kick up the field. Look at that. 60, 73 metres for Durham from their own goal line into the Loughborough half. Still 20 minutes, should I say, to go. It's tense here. It's cold as well. Bit of teeth chattering. But I'm told on good authority that the rain has stopped. The outfield more like a slip and slide. Goodness me. That might just be the widest line-out throw I have ever seen in any level of rugby. He's missed the entire line.
Not straight, scrum option forward.
I mean, not straight, says Ben Rayner. That's an understatement. Well, errors creeping in for both teams. Loughborough giving away soft penalties. Durham not able to take advantage of the field position yet. They've given away a couple of scrum penalties, but physically, they've started to get the nudge on. So Tom Miles has replaced Charlie Breers. This is his first put in. Charlie Titcombe still waits. Slightly more solid scrum there for Loughborough. Titcombe under pressure because Durham have come up quick, but this is going to be a challenge. Metcalf chases this. On his bounce, Daniels' way. Daniels, one man to beat. Daniels beats that man. The chase coming back. Are they going to catch Oscar Daniel? Ollie Walker does a great job, and they get the ball away. And James Langston scores for Loughborough. Charlie Titcombe puts the pressure on from the kick. Daniel bounces on the loose ball, and Langston in the right place at the right time. It is game on at Hollow Drift. Durham 18, Loughborough 17 with the kick to come. Well, it was going to be a play like that, wasn't it, that led to a score. The kick causing chaos, massive collision in the air. Full-blooded effort from both of those teams, but it was brilliant from Daniel. What about the chase from Ollie Walker? But Oscar Daniel maintained his composure, sliding around the place. Langston was there, timed the run, and he gets his first BUCS Super Rugby try of the season. Now Titcombe, again, kicking from right in front of the stand, who are being a little bit more respectful than I might have thought. Oh no, here it comes. Ha ha! Titcombe to give Loughborough the lead. And you'll know if it's good the moment it leaves the boot. No. Well, there are 1,000 or so Palatinate supporters behind me, absolutely delighted with that. It was going to be 1 point either way, but it is still 1 point in the favour of the home team. It is bubbling away beautifully here. Durham 18, Loughborough 17. That's 3 tries for Loughborough, so they're 1 away from the bonus point. Still 2 away from the bonus point for Durham. But I think the main priority for both of these teams is to get over the line with a W in the column. First blood in the second half to Loughborough, but still advantage to the hosts. Tobias Monday catches, gathers, and carries. Here's Miles, another player who's been highly involved with Worcester Warriors. Oh, has he been taken out in the air? No, says the referee. And a knock-on has been given. Jake Metcalf, well, that's a couple of full-blooded chases from Jake Metcalf. I think he might feel a little bit hard done by there because he was in the air when the contact was made. The Durham player was on the ground. But Ben Rayner, bang in line with it, a lot closer than us. Yeah, I think there's a genuine feeling that Durham have got away with one there, but 15 minutes to go. Scrum on the halfway line. And the ball goes Durham's way. Here's kick over the top there from Pat Bishop to chase the touchline. Is going to beat Rory Stewart-Cox. I have really liked the look of him this evening. I think he's going to have a great season. Played a lot of rugby on the 7th Circuit Invitational with Samurai. Struggled with injuries in the past. If they can keep him fit, I think he is going to be a menace. 15 minutes to go. Change in the front row for Loughborough. Joe Plunkett on. His first job is to find the man in his own 22. Just about does it, but Durham closed the gap. And it'll be a free kick to Loughborough.
Durham clearly stepping across and closing.
Bishop's deep, he waits to field the free kick.
Durham come out in front, hold.
Oh, that's not a nice kick to deal with at all. Side over side, end over end, but Daniel deals with it well, and Titcombe goes high. That's one for Oscar Daniel to chase, but it's a little bit too deep. But Daniel up against his opposite number, Nicholson. He puts a decent nudge on it. And the kick battle ensues. Charlie Titcombe, the latest. Again goes low. There's no one that deep. It's just going to go end over end all the way.
Hold Durham!
Not this time. Durham put it off the pitch. Again, I think Loughborough feel as though they've come out on top of that particular kicking battle. They've been about 50-50, but both teams have had big wins, either forcing the knock-on or getting the line out in a good position. Max Pepper coming off. Charlie Worth coming on for Durham. He's another one. Played for Samurai Sevens this summer, second year. Ireland Sevens as an age grader as well, so good pedigree. But Loughborough's ball, Loughborough haven't led in this game, but have chipped away at this Durham lead. It's now just 1 point. That's Tussler, the debutant, in at first receiver. Has to wrestle for it, but does get over the gain line. Another heavy carry. There's Tobias Monday. He's got Alfie Scopes in behind him. Arthur Green's come on for Durham as well. He's wearing number 20, and then that's knocked on by Joe Plunkett. Decent chase on this. Oh, and we would have had a foot race had that not gone straight out off Rory Stewart-Cox. Now, are we going to have the line out, or are we going to go back for the scrum? Line out. Ben Rayner hates a knock-on advantage. Oh, it's set up nicely though, isn't it? 1 point in it. 12 minutes to go. Plunkett picks out his man. Better line out that time from Loughborough. Durham players trying to get through, but Plunkett driving well, gets the legs pumping. Tom Miles poised to release. Pichardi, both second row is still on. Serious engines in the Loughborough boiler house. Well, the ball was out, so if Durham snuck a turn over here, oh, you bet they have. You bet they have. Defending this 1 point lead with aplomb in that middle third. And Durham survive again.
Lad, 6 white sub, 6.
So Henry Lavin coming off for Loughborough.
That's you, lad. Yeah, no worries. Just hold them, hold them, hold them. Got a sub, hold.
That's his race run, an industrious performance from him.
Okay. Open that gap, keep on your mark.
And his replacement goes straight into the midfield.
Right, let's go, Durham. Yeah.
Durham in no rush to take this line out. They've not even had the mothers meeting yet. Get on with it, boys. Better ball though, under pressure. And there, Charlie Worth can put some width on it. A little chip over the top, looking for Rory Stewart-Cox. Oh, he's there on the inside line. That's a beautiful score. Oh, Durham playing champagne rugby. How about that from Pat Bishop? Finds his man, Mikey Ford receives. Stewart-Cox on the inside. Durham extend the lead. 10 minutes to go, and that could well be the try of the week. Straight off the top, training ground stuff. They had to pass the first test, and here it was, under pressure. Charlie Worth. Stewart-Cox looked like the target, but Mikey Ford got there first, knew that Rory Stewart-Cox was there. Desperate chase from Oscar Daniel, but he was never going to get anywhere near Rory Stewart-Cox. Check his boots for wheels. And that is breathing space for Durham. and this a really important kick now. It is makeable. And if he does make it, it is more than a converted try lead. In the context of the game, this is a massive kick for Will Nicholson.
Wait. It's before he's begun his run up. He's still got well over 45 seconds. He's still got time.
Oh, and a bit of drama as well. He's told 45 seconds. You're wasting time, Will. Oh, we're going to have an old school finger on the ball as well. I love this. Ollie Walker, put yourself to work, young man. So Nicholson for an 8-point lead. Oh, he hits the beans on toast, but it's good. Durham 25. Loughborough 17. And Loughborough wasting no time in getting on with it. They need 2 scores now. And that's a confident clearance, a really good clearance. Not messing about with the exit. He had time, put boot to ball. And they're going to make Loughborough play from inside their own half.
Wait.
So seeing as I've been commentating on this game on my own, Claire stood next to me. I'm going to ask her to select the player of the match in a couple of minutes. No pressure, Claire. Oh, is that pressure come through? No. Ewan Murphy has pinched the ball there. Brilliantly done by the Sale Sharks man, captain of this team. Arthur Green got nailed by a couple of Loughborough players, but that is a big play. Durham have done well at key times to really starve Loughborough the ball. Pat Bishop has put in a good nudge as well. This it's dropped just outside the 22. Could have been 50-22 territory. Yeah, so no pressure, Claire, but in a couple of minutes' time, I'm just going to come to you. Tease me as well. Tell me who you've enjoyed playing. Well, Loughborough with it all to do. It's been a great game, but they need a score to set up a grandstand finish. One positive for them has been the line-out. That's operated particularly well. And likewise, that's probably an area Durham will look to tighten up in coming weeks. But that'll not mean anything. Because as it stands, Loughborough need a score to get a bonus point. At the moment, Durham will be having 4, Loughborough will be having none. If they kick a penalty, Loughborough will get 1 bonus point. If they score a try, they could get 2 bonus points. Alas, they need more scores. They need 2 to potentially win the game. And after this performance, after the way they've grafted their way back into the game to leave completely empty-handed, well, they'll be driving back down the M1 feeling very, very heavy. Still, lots of action to come. Just a reminder that our clock's pretty close, but we're not entirely linked in with the referee's watch, so don't get too excited. Still plenty of action to come. Oh, and just after I pumped up the tyres, Loughborough's line-out disintegrates.
Back foot. No hands, no hands. Timing. Timing. Ball's gone.
That one goes skyward. Another big chase. I think that's come off a purple hand, but it was a penalty. Claire, stick a headset on.
Knocked on, then played offside by Whiteman.
Can I hear you?
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear me?
I can indeed, Dave.
Nice. All right, well, let's talk about potential candidates for player of the match then.
So I would like to give an honorary mention to someone on the opposition. And that goes to Loughborough's fullback, Oscar Daniel. I think I've seen 1 knock-on from him, but otherwise a magnificent display in the trickiest possible conditions for someone at fullback. I think he's been rock solid, he's been voracious with his kick chases, and he's looked really threatening in attack as well as a link player. So honorary shout-out for me.
Yeah, the try assist as well. He's been top draw.
but then 2 in the mix for me. I think Durham are going to come home with this one. So it's got to be someone in Palatinate. It's between Rory Stewart-Cox, who's been ever threatening on his wing and scored an absolute pearler moments ago, and Pat Bishop, who I think has worn the captain's armband with aplomb and kicked really, really intelligently. And you know what? I'm going to give it to Bishop.
Are you? Fantastic. Well, Pat Bishop, you can see him there in the number 10 jersey. Great to see him back in the team. He's the co-captain this year. Talked about the battle between him and Charlie Titcombe being one of the keys, but it's looking more and more like Bishop is going to come out on top, and he is our first BUCS Super Rugby player of the match this season, which means you're going to have to wrangle him for a post-match interview as well.
It's absolutely fine. I'll give him his swimming badges while I'm at it. He seems to have earned a couple tonight.
He is a charming young man, and he gives a great interview as well. So very much looking forward to hearing from him. And he'll be absolutely delighted if his team can hold on to this. An 8-point lead. Couple of minutes to go here. Loughborough desperately needing a score to get something from this visit up north. If not, it'll be another win for Durham. That'll make it 4 in a row in the last 2 seasons. And it's not been for a want of effort from Loughborough for large periods of this game. They've very much been in contention. And as we give him the player of the match, Pat Bishop fumbles the ball. However, he has managed to regather it and get over the game line as well. Well played, that man. Rhodes, another man who has been relentless today. What an engine on the number 8. Charlie Worth for Rory Stewart-Cox to chase. And Durham doing really well here to see this game out. Just playing in the right parts of the pitch as Loughborough kicked that one out. And now the opportunity with 2 minutes to go for Durham to take their time over the line out, see this one home, and maybe even chase the 4th try themselves. That would see a win become a bonus point win for well and truly the perfect start. So Dan Eckersley being replaced for Loughborough.
Right, we're good to go. Right, let's go, Durham.
Again, Durham going with short numbers in the line out. And no surprise, not in a rush whatsoever. But that much cleaner ball. Now Charlie Worth out to Bishop, who goes end over end. Metcalf underneath it. Wants to run it, needs to run it. And Loughborough looking to put some width. There's Langston. Good turn of pace from Langston. Plenty of defenders over there as that squeezes out into touch. But there's a line out, a knock on first. Oh, and the applause from the players led me to believe that that might have been full time, but the final whistle.
1 and 3 white. 1 and 3.
Just moments away. Bryn Davis and Mink Sharink being replaced. What an effort from those two, by the way. Loose head and tight head to do 79-minute shifts. How about that?
Okay, guys, left of it.
Obviously, their pre-season conditioning sessions worked.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds to go.
Roach. Bind. Sit. Hold. Stay square. Yeah, let's go.
In it comes from Charlie Worth. Another solid scrum from Durham. Can they get the bonus point try? It's a delayed ball to Ollie Walker, but he crashes over the gain line. A little bit of zip about Durham here, as they know this is the last chance to get that bonus point. I think the next time the ball goes dead,
Not on the ball.
It'll be full time, and Durham will be victorious. That's something we've got used to saying in BUCS Super Rugby. Charlie Worth's had enough. Durham's defence gets off to a great start. They have ground Loughborough down and picked up a valuable 4 points. They've keeping a title rival to 0. And once again, it is a Palatinate party here at Hollowdrift. 3 tries apiece. The boot of Will Nicholson, the difference. Pat Bishop, the man of the match. Full time here at Durham City. It's Durham 25, Loughborough 17. Well, the Palatinate Jackets head to the bar. It's going to be a heck of a party here in Precious Green. Loughborough got off to a nightmare start, 15 down after 15 minutes. Got themselves within 18-17, but then Durham saw it home with on the drive. Rory Stewart Cox off the marquee for assist. Some of the highlights now as Claire tries to rest this. This was brilliant.
I thought the resilience stand out. You never know. You can play your pre-season games. You can have an inkling of what they're going to be. But for a group of young men, a lot of first